Thanks for staying with us for the news. In our first story, a professor of finance at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bachman, says this week will prove critical to Ghana's chances of securing the $3 billion arrangement with the International Monetary Fund. He, however, fears the current state of affairs will allow some of the creditors to meddle in the affairs of the country. He spoke to Evans Mensah on Newsnight yesterday.
Yeah, so, it has been suggested, and I agree largely, that this week will prove to be very critical for Ghana in terms of our resolve to get IMF-supported program. And the reason this week is critical is simply because of the IMF World Bank joint spring meeting. Because there you are going to have all the partners, the country representatives, the finance ministers, and the central bank governors would all converge during the spring meeting. And therefore, instead of traveling to individual member countries to go and be begging or calling others to beg on your behalf, now everybody is at one place. And thankfully, some kind of a meeting has been arranged. But what is a bit concerning for me is that it has taken us more than 2 months to realize that China wasn't going to play along with Paris Club creditors. And the reason it's coming to us as a surprise is that we should have known this long ago. And I am sure the West knew this long ago. And Ghana should have known this long ago, that in principle, the way China conducts its activities in Africa and other countries is quite different. And also the global geopolitics, the geo-economic fragmentation, and all of that is going to play out in how we are able to get China to play along. Don't forget that China wants to be recognized as a big player and wants to be dealt on its own terms. Remember that given that whoever gives you money controls and directs how your affairs are managed. And I agree largely with Georgia when you were saying that even for the Paris Club creditors, if they are going to give us debt relief.
Now, in our next story, we get into politics, and the National Democratic Congress has petitioned the police to arrest and prosecute Minister of Food and Agriculture, Brian Achampong. The NDC says recent comments by Mr. Achampong at Mpraeso that the governing New Patriotic Party will never hand over power to the National Democratic Congress were in bad taste and had the potential of escalating political chaos in the country.
So today, we were at the CID quarters to present to the CID boss a petition calling on the CID boss to arrest, investigate, and prosecute the Minister for Agric, Brian Achampong, for the unsavory comments that he made during the Easter break. You are aware that he's on viral video to have said that the MPP, will not hand over power to the NDC, come what may. And as lawyers, we are of the view that this comment or comments on that day border on one, national security, and two, an affront to the Constitution. As lawyers, we think that the police administration must be interested in this matter because as stakeholders in this democratic dispensation, not sit by for just one person to pass comments that will bring unrest in this country. So that's why we are here today, and we've submitted the petition to the CID boss. We had a copy for the IGP, and we thought we could have met him.
Before you go to the IGP, what did the CID boss tell you?
The CID boss indicated to us his appreciation of what we have done, and she was of the view that she would take the necessary steps, having received the petition. But once we were also going to serve the IGP, she will wait till we
confirm to you whether they saw that viral video of Brian Achampong.
The CID boss did not say much. What he indicated to us was that he's happy we have brought the petition and they will work on it. As to whether she has seen or the police has seen it, that didn't come up. But in my submission, I said that we have attached a video in a pen drive, and that if she hasn't seen it, this is an opportunity for her to now see it. And so what we are doing is not derogating from that. What we are doing is furthering what the police has already started doing. And so we are confident that having started this, the police administration by themselves, clamping down on such speech, they would deal with this matter as well.
And that was the Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Abraham Amaliba, making that presentation of a petition to the Ghana police. Meanwhile, national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, says they have also concluded a petition to be presented to the Inspector General of Police for the arrest of former President John Dramani Mahama and the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, for comments they made in the past that have the tendency of disrupting the peaceful coexistence of the country.
The MPP, we have also just finalized a petition which we intend to forward to the police CID for the arrest, investigation, and prosecution of the former president, John Dramani Mahama, for comments he made with, which undermines the stability and peace, saying that the NDC was born out of a revolution. NDC is a violent party. When it comes to unleashing violence, they are number one. They are unmatched. The 2024 election is going to be boot for boot, and then also do or die affair. The national chairman of the NDC, Mr. Esiedun Ketia, is also in our petition. And then we are also calling for his arrest, investigation, and prosecution. What we have also said is that recently when he won and when he was addressing his party faithfuls, what he said was that they are going to do anything possible to win the elections, even if they have to sacrifice lives. He also said that. So we have also finalized the petition, and then we are just proceeding to the CID any time from now, and we are calling for the arrest of these two persons, former President Mahama and then Mr. Johnson Esiedun Ketia. We are asking the police to also investigate them, also prosecute them for some of these comments they made.
Now, in our next story, the head of the Center for Settlement Studies at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Define Ahaji, is calling for a review of Ghana's affordable housing scheme. He believes the current policy excludes the vulnerable and the needy. Professor Ahaji was speaking at his professional inaugural lecture in Kumasi.
We are leaving out what we call the ambulance bracket, and you know what it means to be in the ambulance. And then the safety net. And so it means that our affordability issues must be redefined and looked at again. And I think this is something that we call for serious public discourse. Recently, we did a study in Kumasi, Asawasi, Atonsu, and Ija, and it shows that based on their current income, their rent-to-income ratio was around 10%. So many of the people who, sorry to say, live in the areas that we declare substandard pay about 10% of their income on housing because that is based on their income. That is why they choose to live in such situations. We try to compare that by moving them to a standard house based on the income and realize that if we are to use the rent to income, it will go past 50%. And based on our benchmark, the benchmark says that your rent income should not exceed 30%. So what it means is that many of all those people actually cannot fend for themselves when it comes to housing, and we need some form of support. And that is why we have to properly define the issue of affordability so that it targets those who really need it and not those who can already afford or live in what the Americans will say overhoused houses. The person is already overhoused and then he takes the houses again.
From affordable housing, we get to our final story now. And the Bono East Department of Agriculture has held a mini trade fair in the Nkranza South municipality with the objective of building business partnerships and market linkages to make agriculture an effective and profitable venture. Regional Director Cecilia Kejajaman says the fair will offer actors in the agri value chain a platform to showcase their products to buyers across the country to help reduce post-harvest losses. Anas Sabit has more in this report.
Speaking at the 2023 Regional Business Partnerships and Market Linkages platform organized by the Bono East Regional Department of Agriculture as part of its planned activities to promote agri-businesses within the region, Regional Director of Agriculture, Mrs. Cecilia Keja, underscored the relevance of the forum, which was held under the theme Business Linkages, Promoting Markets and Partnerships in Agriculture.
You know, we launched it about 2 years ago, and we've been passionate about it. And it is business partnership or market linkages. Yes. So, and what are we talking about? We are talking about the need to quickly sell our foodstuff. I mean our farmers. Yes. And therefore, this business linkage or business market linkage and business partnership has become very, very, very necessary.
She asserted that the move would, amongst other things, bring together key stakeholders to help assist farmers in their quest to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, which aims at reducing poverty.
As a country, we have our SDGs to meet, and as part of the SDG goals, there's the need to reduce poverty. There's also the need for sustainable food availability. We normally say food security. And therefore, at this stage, this time, we have linked people along the value chain. We have our farmers here, we have our aggregators here, we have our people who are involved in big supplies. We have them here, we have marketers here, we have transporters, we have all the people along the value chain available. So the ultimate goal is for us to assist our farmers quickly and immediately sell their produce, and also to be able to meet the SDG goals for poverty reduction and food security.
She also called on investors in need of various food commodities in large quantities to communicate with the Regional Agric Office in order to be linked to the right suppliers scattered across the region.
As you know, we always pride ourselves as the food basket of the nation. And when the information gets to us, we have our various market linkage platforms. We'll have the discussion on such platforms. And people who are in need of large quantities, we don't care the quantity of maize, we don't care about the quantity of rice, beans, whatever. We are ready to supply. We have our FBOs, very vibrant FBOs who are hardworking and who really can supply the quantities they need.
Some of the participants drawn from the Nkranza North and South districts had the opportunities to brief officials and the public on their products and services, as well as the various challenges hindering their agricultural trade. Isaac Brobe and his team came up with this cashew machine to help ease the work of cashew farmers across the area.
Machine, a cashew machine, a cashew. Occasionally, a queer is a bread or cashew to team. Cashew, a tibuasia, or what is our one? You say the part of better wine. What is our one? Now, sparking machine at the table, like I said, Brennan, to work.
They lament the high cost of materials in the market and appeal for government's intervention.
See, as we hear machine, say, Titicaron get a 170 million hours anchor. Call never serious and whole day. Yes, I get to it. About the soya senior, course a bit my buffer.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Nkranza.
And that's the note on which we cap off the news. But stay with us, the news review is up next.